Very cool.
All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we are actually live in full effect, and we got hip hop veteran, we got D Brock, DaLyrical, right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
Real good, man. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome. It's definitely an honor to have you on the radio station this evening, man. How are you doing this evening?
Real good, man. Real good. I just got a chance to check out that halftime show with all old school hip hop, man. It was really good, man. So
I got to say, down here in Canada, I was watching that as well, man. I was looking at the time and I was hoping we could actually fit that in. But I got to say, phenomenal halftime show, man. In my personal opinion, Mary J killed her performance.
yes, she did. She still got it.
But I won't keep you too long away from the Super Bowl, man. So I'm gonna dive right into this interview. But I gotta ask you, man, first and foremost, way back in the '80s, what originally made you decide to actually pursue a career within the music industry initially?
Hello, Cool J. Hello, Cool J, man. In '85, when Radio came out with his first album, um, I was just a huge LL fan, and I used to actually lip sync his songs and win contests, man, way back in '86, '87. And that's what made me want to pursue a career in music and rap, man. It was him overall. I have other influence, but he was the main one.
And I gotta say, you could never go wrong with LL Cool J, man. His mama said "Knock You Out" record is my
Knock
personal
you out,
favorite.
right, right, right.
But also as well, man, in the year 1989, you actually released your first single titled "If You Were a Brother, Be a Brother." I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this release, and of course, is it still available to be streamed or purchased today?
Uh, I will. I'm going to make it available at some point. I don't even have copies of it anymore. Like people in my family do, so I'm going to round it up from them, and the people have been asking about it. But that song was born out. It was actually my first single. You're right, '89, and I was 19 years old, man. And back then it was in the states, man, it was a real big push towards, with the black community, with black unity and black love, and that's the time when, EPMD and Public Enemy was talking about fight the power, and you had groups like X Clan, and it was just like a lot more black awareness in the music, and that's what really hip hop was born out of, talking about the struggles and what black people go through in America. So, and I was just trying to tell people in that song, man, hey, if you're a brother, man, just be a brother, man. Be who you are, and don't be afraid to be yourself. And it's crazy, man, because I was a kid at that time, man. But that was the way things were, in the world at that time, and unfortunately, they're still that way.
And I gotta say as well, man, I'm actually super excited to hear that you're actually going to be re-releasing that old school single, man. That way the fans of yours, the new fans that are just discovering your music today, can really go back and hear your earlier releases.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would like people to hear it, man. I sound I sound a lot different, back then than I do now, man. So, because it's I've been doing this now over almost 30 years, man.
But also as well, I actually read that very early on in your career, you actually had the opportunity to be the opening act for the one and only Vanilla Ice. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that experience, and of course, did you get the opportunity to meet Ice before or after the show?
I met him right before he went on the stage, and I just opened up for him one time, man. He had came to Pittsburgh, and I got the call to open up for him. But I met him backstage right before he went on, and he was a cool dude, man. We talked for about 5 minutes, and we just talked about music or whatever, and he was telling me like he liked being on tour and doing shows, and it was just real quick, man. But he was a cool dude.
And I got to say as well, it must have been a surreal experience as well, because I believe around that time when you did open up for him, like Ice Ice Baby was really popping. I think that was one
Yeah,
of
he
or
had the
only his
hottest
biggest
song
songs.
in the country at that point, so that was cool because he was huge at that time.
And I gotta say, you already know that venue was definitely going to be sold out before you even showed up. You probably knew that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like he was so hot, man, and he just, everything. Wherever he went, he sold out. I believe. Every time he toured, off the Ice Baby thing, man, because that song was just humongous.
And also, as well, you were actually signed to Hype Jam Records. I was wondering, how did you originally land that record deal? And of course, what was it like working for them so early on within your career?
Well, it's they actually came to me, man. Like, it was based out of a record distribution company in Pittsburgh called Mobile Records, and the president of that company, he's the one who started Hype Jam Records. I had a few friends of mine actually worked for him, worked at the distribution company, and they just kept telling him about me. And one day, they just asked me to, said that he wanted to hear me rap. So they took me down there, man, and I went right to his office, and I freestyled for him right in his office. And a week later, he had me in the studio.
And I gotta say, right then and there was history right then and there, man. I gotta say, they definitely made the right choice signing you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And that's another thing. How LL Cool J. He was on Def Jam, so that's the reason the record label was Hype Jam, because I gave him the name for the record company, and the owner was a guy named Harvey Campbell. Real good guy, man. And he just believed in me and wanted to start a label, and I was his first artist.
And also, as well, in 1996, you actually had the opportunity to open up for another phenomenal hip-hop artist. And by this time, it was actually KRS-One, where you actually opened up in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that. And, of course, what was it like just sharing the stage with KRS?
Man, that was like the highlight, and that's still the highlight of my career, man. Because, I always thought he was the best. Still to this day, I think he's the best. And I was a huge fan of his. And at the time, I was doing a lot of things in Pittsburgh, and I was doing some shows and touring and doing some small tours here and there. And it's a promoter, Salt Shaker Productions. Salt Shaker Productions, my man. So he was bringing KRS into Pittsburgh, and he wanted to open a act that was really going to rock the crowd. So he got in touch with me and let me know. He said, "Hey, man," and he asked me if I would like to open up for him. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know what I mean? So then I met KRS. I met him before the show, man, up in the backstage before we actually went out on stage before I opened up for him. And we talked for a few minutes, and he told us he was going to check out our show, which he did. So after I did the show, man, when I came off the stage and he was on his way onto the stage, he gave me love and told me that I rocked it. And that was just like blew my mind, man. And it just, that gave me more confidence than I ever had as an artist, to get props from him. Yeah, it was just unreal. That was truly surreal.
And also, as well, as you already know, we got connected through MJ's Hip Hop Connects. I was wondering, how did yourself and MJ originally get connected? And of course, what is it like just working alongside her and having her as your publicist?
MJ is great, man. And she's, for lack of a better expression, MJ is the shit. Right? She really is. And she just got so many connections, and she was the one who told me that. Well, first of all, I'll tell you how I got down with her, and how we hooked up. She's also publicist for a family member of mine, a cousin, who actually writes movie scripts and shows, TV shows. Her name is Nina Brooks, so she's also her publicist. And when I got the song done, when I got Call Me Old done, I let my cousin hear the song, and immediately she told me, you have to get this to MJ Sabino. So I got the song to MJ, and she listened to it, and then she called me back. And honestly, man, she told me that, well, you have the hit record here, but you need a visual. So that's why we shot the video. So, but MJ has been great, and she's just unreal, man. And I love working with her, and she keeps me busy, talking to different people, such as yourself, different DJs and radio stations. But man, it's just been a great relationship so far, and I'm looking forward to continue.
And I got to say, she definitely is a phenomenal individual, man. So that definitely was the right business move, man. She's always on the go and always working, man. You can never go wrong with MJ.
Right. Like, she is all about, the industry and helping people get where they want to be. So I really appreciate, man. I'm thankful for her.
And also, as well, aside from the music industry here for a moment, I also read that you actually played college ball for the Pittsburgh Panthers. I was wondering, what actually made you decide to venture into football? And, of course, what position did you originally play when you did play for that team?
Okay, so there's a little bigger story behind that. So when I finished high school, man, I was just all about the music, and I was recording, putting records out. I actually went and I recorded off and on in Manhattan in New York City for about 5 years. And then I decided, before I got too old, that I wanted to play football again, and also I wanted to get my degree. So actually, when I went to college, man, when I enrolled into college for the first time at the University of Pittsburgh, I was 27 years old, and then I wanted to play football, but I had to sit out for a year because I just couldn't come out right in off the street, and they considered it, and just jump right on the football field. So I had to, wait a year. So 1998, I was a 28-year-old redshirt freshman, and I walked on to the University of Pittsburgh's football team, and I made the team. And I played strong safety. That was my position, man. Same position as Troy Polamalu, if you know who that is. But, yeah, man, so that's how I got into football, and also that's how I got into fitness. And I've been a personal trainer ever since, and I have a small gym now, my own small gym, and, in addition to doing the rapping, that's what I do.
And also as well, man, recently you just actually released the brand new single titled Call Me Old that actually dropped October 1st of 2021. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this phenomenal single, and of course, where can we actually check it out today if we haven't already done so?
Okay, well, it's on all the streaming platforms on the internet. It's on Pandora, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, iTunes, and a bunch of other places. Also, the video is on YouTube. Call Me Old, DaLyrical, or Real Strong Entertainment is the name of my record label. But the videos on YouTube, the clean version, and also the video version. So if you can check it out there. And if you Google DaLyrical, you'll just get a list of everything everywhere the song is at right now, all of my previous interviews and things like that. So, yeah.
And I have to ask as well, man, what is next for yourself, D-Brock, other than...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, man. I'm not to cut you off. So you wanted to know where Call Me Old, how it was born. Okay, so I don't know how much you know about my full story. Back in 2009, I had a stroke, and I completely lost my ability to speak. So, 2010, I actually taught myself to speak again, but I used nothing but hip-hop. So it was the power of God in hip-hop. I didn't take the medication. I refused to go to speech therapy. I just used hip-hop, and I knew once I could spit again, or if I could spit again, I would be able to talk again. So I had the stroke in 2009, and in 2010, I got my speech back, and I recorded a few more songs. But I didn't like them. They didn't turn out right. I just didn't feel like it was me. So I hadn't recorded anything since 2010. But I was really, really fed up with the industry, for the last 10, 11, 12 years. I've just been fed up with the way the industry has went with hip-hop music, right? It's all about glorifying, violence and drugs and sex and, people going to jail, like it's okay to go to jail, wear your pants hanging all the way off your ass, like they just dumbed down the music, and the industry did that purposely, So, that's where Call Me Old was born from, because I just had enough, man. It was a couple years ago, right when the pandemic had first started. Because I wrote the song in 2020, but I didn't record it until 2021. So it was in 2020, right after the pandemic started, I was watching TV, and I was flicking channels, man, and some video came on, and it was another rapper named Little Something. And he was just awful, and the song was awful, and it was that moment that I decided that I had enough, and I wrote Call Me Old. And the reason I titled the song Call Me Old was because, I'll be 52 next month, right? But I embrace my age, and I'm glad that I made it this far. So, I always believed that as long as I was in my right mind, I would always have my skills. I would never lose my ability to be a dope MC. But I knew other people would say, you're too old to be rapping, or you're old, this, that, and the other. I just knew that would be the first thing that what people would say about it, being as though I hadn't put the music out for, 11 years, 12 years. So that's why I titled the song Call Me Old, and I'm letting everybody know that I embrace being old, and just now you got to listen to the song and, deal with the skills, right? Now you got to judge the song on the content, not just me as an older MC.
But I have to ask, other than this song, what is next for you? Is there anything we happen to miss during this interview? Anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian FM dial this evening.
Well, I'm my TikTok thing, man. I got a TikTok channel, so everybody can go and check that out, because I do some other raps about, things that are going on, kind of something like kind of freestyling about, things that are happening in the world today. So they could catch me at TikTok at DaLyrical, also Instagram, Facebook, DaLyrical, Real Strong Entertainment. And I'm recording my album right now, man. I'm doing a whole album. So I just finished the next single. It's a song called My Life, and I'll probably be dropping that sometime at the end of March, going into April. And I have more coming after that, man. So I'm doing a full album, about 12, 13 songs, tracks on it. And it's everything that I'm writing right now. Like, there's no old songs, because I've got tons of old songs that I never put out, but I'm not doing any of those. So this whole album is me right now, me over the age of 50 as an MC. Because I really want to show people what I still got, and also give hope to other MCs, such as myself, who still got skills but just never got where they wanted to be.
And also, this is the time in the interview quickly that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, but most of all, your social media handles. I know you dropped your TikTok there a few moments ago, but if you can, drop your other social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you all across the board.
All right, well, first of all, shout-outs, man. First and foremost, big shout-out to DJ Super C. That's my producer. That's the guy that produced the Call Me Old. He does all the cutting and scratching in the beginning of the song. That's him on turntables. Those are not samples. That's him actually cutting. He's a bad dude, man. So big shout out to Super C. I Obviously, shout out to MJ Savino, my publicist, my man John Burton, my man JB, my manager. Got to give a shout out to him. Also, I want to shout out Marty Schiff and Aaron Dudas. Those are the guys that shot the video for Carmio. And my production team, and then everybody who was in the video. And last but not least, I got to give a shout out to the city of Pittsburgh, man. That's where I'm from, born and raised. So what's up, Pittsburgh, if you're listening? And also shout out to Canada, man. Shout out to Canada. I love Canada. I love coming up there and hanging out. I haven't been able to do it in a while, man, but I've been to Toronto a few times, and the Falls a bunch of times, and I always have a good time in Canada, man. So, I'll be back definitely, and hopefully I'll come up there and do a few shows.
Hey, most definitely, man. I actually heard that they're ending the mandates down here in Canada at the end of March, so them borders are going to open right back up just in time for spring and summer.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. So, my social media, Facebook, DaLyrical, also Real Strong Entertainment on Facebook, Instagram, Real Strong Entertainment, or DaLyrical, Twitter, Real Strong Entertainment, or DaLyrical. It's all tied to the same things. And then that's about it, man. Like I said, TikTok, DaLyrical. And that's DaLyrical.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, D-Brock, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and coming on 97.7 FM. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Looking forward, man. Thanks again for having me, man. You have a great night.
You as well, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Peace, Canada.